Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jerremy Alexander Newsome, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on, folks and friends, team and family, fans from around the world? What's up, Bill, Jonathan, Eric, Ariel, Sean, Fedor? What is cracking? Casey Darden, Liza, Pam, Daniel, Sammy, Mike, the crew, the squad, the squadrini. Awesome. Glad you're all here. Ida, how are you, champion? Well, my dear friends, it is going to be a stupendous set of weeks ahead. Today is the 19th of April. We got 2 full weeks left and earnings season is here. So we're going to talk all about it, get some trades set up, get some analysis underway, do some reviews, do all the good stuff. Before we dive deep into individual stocks, the broader market, again, this is just kind of my interpretation of what I think is going to happen. So really, I drew this 3 days ago, so we could just drag it up a little bit. So I think we could probably chop around and trade a little bit sideways the next 2 days. It's going to make fun. It's going to be really, really fun. Day trading was a blast today, I think. Day trading is going to be great. Option selling will be really fun if you are looking at the right stocks, right? Selling calls, selling puts, doing credit spreads. I mean, we do have a credit spread group, teach credit spreads for free. It's a great strategy. It's going to be a lot of fun for it. Just in and out, be flexible, be quick, be nimble, and enjoy. And remember, you don't have to take a trade every day. You don't have to take a trade every week. You don't even have to take a trade every month. The goal is to find the patterns, the setups, and everything that looks immaculate, trade them, make the money, pull out the cash flow, go do things with the cash flow, buy your assets, stack that cash, be amazing. That's the SPY. Broader markets, it's going to chop around, trade sideways, eventually grinding higher, and then we're going to get a little bit more of a dip. And then again, probably from there, we will go higher. All right, the Qs, a little bit of a high wave bear candle. This is an evening star reversal candle. And it's a pretty good one too, realistically. I mean, again, I'm not saying this is the top of the market forever and ever, but we could easily pull back down before we bounce again. And as a reminder, you can trade these instruments, right? You can trade the Qs, you can trade the SPY, you can be in these things to win these things. You can be in it. So that's why I do review them all the time. Broader markets, this is an all-time high literally on Friday. Friday was an all-time high across the board. So experiencing a little bit of a pullback today makes tons of sense. Dow Jones, all-time high also on Friday. Slight little pullback today. And then you have the IWM. IWM is really pretty flat. So there's a few people who are in shares on this one. You have covered calls and or put sales, and you're just waiting it out. Had some traders ask me if this is a head and shoulders pattern, and the answer is yes. However, it must close below 208 to confirm. So yeah, that's really about it. Realistically, nothing else too crazy and wild. Do have some stocks that were requested, so let's go ahead and dive into some of those. This is CHGG. Yep, CHGG. And if you're looking at CHGG, my overall thought process on this one, let's see what we get. We are trading sideways, nothing too radical, too wild, or too crazy. Here's your long-term moving averages, and we are kind of in between them. I know a lot of people are kind of waiting for an eventual breakout. And, if it trades sideways, the longer it trades sideways, the more it could break out. I'm more inclined to trading it down at the 200. Again, you do have this. Again, a little bit of an ugly pattern, but it's there. So again, some type of support resistance and head and shoulders pattern, a little bit of a failure, retest. So really we're consolidating. Again, don't press the gas pedals too hard. We had an amazing, amazing run up in most of the markets, right? October, November, December, January, and even some of February. So don't press the gas pedal too hard. If you have to do a bunch of scans to find a good trade, that's absolutely fine. If you have to do a lot of waiting in April and or May, that's also okay. Do tons of back trading. When you're newer at trading, you don't initially think that there are amazing opportunities every day, but there are. And also when you're a newer trader, you might not think that it only takes one really good trade to make your year. And the answer to that is it does. It doesn't really take that much. So it just takes one really good one. So be patient, be patient, be patient. The reason I keep saying that on check, I don't see anything that I absolutely love other than, just some compression here. We're trading sideways, right? You got a little bit of this, you got a little bit of that. If it broke down, I'd be a little bit more inclined to buy it lower. Slowly grinding higher. Obviously the trend is bullish. This is the weekly chart, and the weekly chart, we just keep grinding higher. Strong breakout of this distribution. And again, since March, I mean, we've just tripled from 30 to 90 plus 30 to 110 really. So yeah, let it consolidate for a while, give check some time, let it rest. Jason says, are you reading my diary? Preaching to my anxiousness. Man, trust me, I know, I feel it, I see it, I'm reading the messages, and I'm in the markets daily, so I'm with you guys. I'm anxious too. I want to press that gas pedal so hard and just make things go higher so that I can make some money. But you had an amazing run up in the markets to end the year last year. So it's just going to calm down. There's going to be a little bit of a pause. There's going to be a rest, and then it'll happen again. But I know some of you, I know this is the swing trader room, but also keep in mind that you can always dust off that day trading practice and start getting some cash flow from day trading as well. It's also possible. All right, so here's SNOW, S-N-O-W, Snowflake. Because again, imagine you bought Snowflake March 8th. I mean, you're the exact same price that it was then, a month later. So yes, this is an accumulation phase. Yes, you're trading sideways. Yes, not much is happening, all the things. So we're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. We're being patient. Long-term moving averages are flat. Weekly chart is flat. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a wait and see. So SNOW, not much going on there. Again, for those of you who are very proficient in option sales, right? If you have some put sales or something down here, great. If you don't, that's okay. But if you're just waiting it out, that's also fine. All right. Finance, investment banks, brokers, TIGR. This is a little intriguing because it is moving different than the broader market. You actually had a strong close today, up 5%. You're gapping down some post-market. I'm intrigued to buy off the high of this March 26th candle. Let me put this in here, something like this. Marty says, I got another R today with Tiger. Did you? Nice, man. Did you had a day trade then, I'm assuming. Oh, wow. Nice. Good job, Marty. So my guess is this is the 5-minute chart. You either played this high wave candle, entry here, stop there, took your R there. That'd be the easiest thing in the world. Or somehow, with the patience of Hercules, you wait for this thing to trade down into this support, chop around, and then go long here, stop down here, and rode that up for an R. 1920. Yep, so you played it in the morning. Good job. Good for you, sir. Well done, man. I like it. I mean, if I was going to play TIGR, and we very well might, let's put this on the list for later this week. I want to buy a dip into this ginormous bear volume candle on March 26th. This getting taken out. So let me put this on the list for Wednesday. We'll come back to it and we'll see what it does. All right, Wednesday, got it. Back to the Monday chart. Monday, here we go. Next on the list, Palantir. Palantir did get stopped out of the weekly options newsletter, womp, 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 which just tells me that Palantir, man, is, again, I keep trying it, and every single time I trade a quick, like in and out type of trade, it just doesn't work. That doesn't mean that it's never going to go higher. It just means that it's going to be a dud for longer than I want it to be a dud. Sammy says hot garbage. Yeah. Hot garbage. So Jay says Palantir is making me cry. Yeah, if you're feeling like you're crying on this one, probably just put it in the garbage. Throw it away in the garbage for a little bit. Give it some time. That doesn't have any direction, no real edge. If you have shares, that's fine. Because Ezra is exactly correct. I fully agree. Right when you sell it all, that's when it will pop. I do agree. So if you have shares, shares don't expire. Forget that you own them for a while. Let it hang out. Let it chop around. Let it do its thing. It can easily go lower. I know Jason's watching this one very closely for some leaps as it pulls back. Yeah, just give it time. Wait it out. We'll see what it gets. But the closing below this candle is not the most bullish sign in the world. So yeah, Palantir, I can say this with a pretty high degree of certainty. If it doesn't bounce this week, we will see 16 before June. DocuSign. Most traders who are in DocuSign sold somewhere around the 100. So good for you. If you play DocuSign, awesome job. Here's the weekly chart, and the weekly chart, you are, for the most part, just kind of hanging out, chilling. Nothing really, really wild or insane or interesting going on the weekly. Let's see here. What about the monthly chart? Monthly chart. Yeah, we're in a distribution phase. I mean, buy as low as you can, sell as high as you can. Obviously, that kind of goes without saying. So if you're looking at playing DocuSign, wait, you are smack dab in the middle. I mean, right in between both the 100 and the 200 simple moving average. So don't rush. Nothing too dramatic. Nothing too wild. Give it some time. I think it needs a little bit longer, and that's pretty much it. Jay says they keep getting more contracts and it keeps going down. Oh, on Palantir? Yeah. Yep. People, if you're invested in that one, it's just going to be boring for a bit. Because really, that IPO came out. I mean, that was one that everyone was talking about. Everybody was super, super confident it was going to go higher. They still have struggled to make really good profits, though. Anyway. All right, MAXR. This was one of our official swing trades that just never triggered. So we're waiting on it. It does look like it's gapping down very, very small post-market. I'm going to be really intrigued to look around the 200 simple on this one. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. So you had a pretty big bear volume candle on March 18th. We have not gone higher yet. Yeah, this is where I would be interested in MAXR, 32.25-ish, something like that. That's where it can start getting fun. And we will see. We'll see if it gets fun there. For right now, we're just waiting. Another $4 lower. So again, if you're looking at playing MAXR, just give it time. You know, weekly chart, consolidation station. Yeah, that's all I got. Buy lower. Let's keep waiting. It was an official swing trade. We did end up canceling it. Nothing crazy special on MAXR. All right, First Solar, FSLR. So First Solar did have a little bit of a gap up and a retest today. There are some people who are in bullish on First Solar, some for the shorter term, some for the longer term. Here's the 5-minute chart on First Solar. And you had a really, really beautiful hammer to start the day. It threw up some interesting moves if you turn on the extended hours. All right, this is one of those where it just broke above, right? Made a new high. You would have had to sell into strength, locked in a small profit. It rotated down. You've had to get out somewhere over there. And you probably, best case scenario, would have either won very small or lost very small if you day trade First Solar, but that's all good. My boy Sammy said he got into some $100 leaps on Thursday. So are those leaps January 2022 of this year? Sorry, January 2022 is next year based on the calendar. So I guess the question should just be January 2022. Okay, cool. That's the one Sammy's got in. All right, beautiful. So there's First Solar. Here is Snapchat, and Snapchat, really interesting candle today. Nice set of candles. I don't know. It's a kind of a cool hammer. I believe earnings is right around the corner on Snapchat. Let me kind of go and verify. So if it is, it's probably just, all right, cool, awesome. Wait it out. Let's see what happens. So Snapchat, yeah, April 22nd at 4 o'clock. At market close. Okay, yeah, that's right around the corner. So I guess Snapchat, let's wait. Let's wait. All right, Airbnb, trading sideways. So this is one that I do know a few traders who have some put sales on, Airbnb. Some of those put sales are in this general area right here. So they're like, yeah, I don't mind owning shares at that 150 spot. So if that's you, beautiful. If you are trading the 78-minute Momo, aka the momentum, you've been bearish since April 7th. So these last 12 days, we've just slowly been going lower. And again, remember, you can swing trade or actively trade pretty much anything. If you are bear Momo, right, you can either be A, shorting it, B, not going long, or C, day trading it short, right? Because you have that overall bear momentum. Because notice on the daily chart, you also have that bearish Momo. So just kind of my perception is if you do have Momo on bigger time frame, then the shorter term time frame should be, you know, relatively obvious. Daily is bearish. Okay. So I'm predominantly going to be playing bear Momo. And if you're, again, not shorting anything, then that's fine. Then you're just waiting. And if you are going long, you're probably just getting in and getting out quickly. Mike says, how about going long when Momo is short? What a genius. Well, again, it's just a strategy application because your strategy can be, let me just buy at support. Like that can be your strategy. And that's fine. That's fine. The question is just how do you dictate support? How long do you hold? When do you get out? All those things. So if you are just playing Momo and that's the strategy, perfect. You just don't want to try to blend them, you know, and if you do blend them, have rules for the blending of all different strategies. But at some point for newer traders, you do just kind of want to pick something, stick to it for a while, make some money with it, kind of come back to it later, see what it's doing, make your tweaks, that kind of thing, you know? Mike says small position with a wide stop. Exactly. And so if that's the case, if you're just kind of accumulating and you're starting to leg in, totally understand. It is out of support. I totally agree with you. And it was a down day. And again, we all know that Airbnb will be higher in time. So if you're starting to leg in, I get it. Shopify had a very interesting gap down today. Very, very interesting. So you had tons of strength on the 8th of April. Again, I don't have any position on Shopify personally, but this would be a really, really nice day to sell some puts for anyone who wanted to own some shares of Shopify. Again, any kind of put sale area, I think, is probably 840. Because yes, if you're thinking this looks like a head and shoulders pattern, you would be correct. You still haven't closed below the neckline yet, and it needs to do that to confirm. But in essence, if you are looking at Shopify, I would just like to own it closer to that 100 simple on a weekly. It's only hit it once, and that was back in December 2018. So 3 years ago, when it was at $100 a share. No big deal. No big deal. So yeah, Shopify. I personally would like it to go down a little bit lower. This is actually a pretty good trapping candle, realistically. Like if I were day trading this one or short-term swing trading it, I'd probably primarily have a bear focus for now until, again, you know, earnings does whatever they do. Here's your 78-minute Momo, and that went bearish today on the Momo scanner. So, all right, that's Shopify. Tesla. So, interesting story. Me and Maloney were doing some trades today, and we were working on some futures, and we were working on Tesla a little bit. I did have an order on Tesla, just one of my random like accumulation orders to buy some shares at 691.57. I don't know where I got that number from. I think I just made it up. Low of the day was 691.80. So I had to cancel that 10 share limit. Missed it by, you know, a quarter overnight. It's just like a random thing. Anyway, no big deal. I actually like this candle. I do. It looks pretty. I think Dan had a really kind of a cute day trade on it. So here's the 5-minute chart. This was, for all intents and purposes, one of the easiest shorts I've ever seen in my life. If you were shorting it, right, it gapped down today. What's amazing is this purple line that's on the screen. This was the 105 on the 30-minute right here. This is the 105 EMA on the 5-minute chart. And this purple line also happened to be really close to the location of the 100 simple on a daily on Tesla. So the fact that it was hanging out there this morning, you gapped down with a high wave candle, entry would have been there, stop would have been there. You could short the shares unless, of course, you have think or swim, in which case you probably have to buy some puts. But it was a really, really nice drop. And then, you know, just got a little double bottom in here, and we just slowly accumulated and trade sideways for the rest of the day. Nothing really special. So you would have had to short pretty much anything you shorted. You would have had to short early in the morning. Otherwise, that would have been pretty much it. Tesla hanging out, but I do like the candle from today. Again, this is my wave count. Somebody was asking me to do a wave count earlier today. And she, even though she is a wizard, her and I were trying to figure out what a good wave count on Tesla was. This is what I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a corrective wave of some other bigger cycle. And then this is an A, B, C wave. So normally after the C wave, you get a lot of consolidation. I think that's the consolidation that we're in right now. I think we're just doing a little bit of, as I mentioned, I think we're just going to do some chop. So earnings are actually around the corner on Tesla. So that'll be interesting to see what they do on earnings. I know a lot of people have shares of Tesla long-term. I get that. I realize that. But with this candle pulling down to the 100, pulling down to the moving averages, this is actually one to watch. If it gaps up tomorrow, that'd be really pretty. And if it popped over here. Harold says, how do you count waves? Do you have a video? I do. Yep, I have a few actually. The main video that most people like, Harold, is in the advanced section. I don't know if you got a chance to go through that or not yet, but if you want to pop into there, the 5th video of the advanced section is on wave counts. Yes, sir. And then JS just posted one in the chat pane as well. So yeah, brother, wave counts, they are fun. I do like them. They're just one of those things to dive into if you start getting bored and want a little bit more time to work on some things. All right. Fantastic. So that's pretty much what we have on Tesla, trading sideways, hanging out. I really do like the candle. If it breaks above, I mean, I'd be more bullish than bearish. Salesforce, high wave candle. There's most people who are in Salesforce have some type of collar. So you have some shares, short calls, long puts. You're waiting it out and it's just kind of hanging out. So yeah, moving averages have crossed the 200 simple, acting as a really nice support. Weekly chart, I mean, you have an inside week candle thus far. I think this is a ginormous flag pattern on Salesforce on the weekly. I like Salesforce as a company and product and all those things. Otherwise, just would wait it out. If you have a collar, cool, thumbs up, nothing cool to do other than wait. ARLO, ARLO, ARLO Technologies, which is really like a home security company. So If you took this trade way back when, if you're still in it, cool. If you got out Friday for a few very small gain, congrats. And if you're going to wait on it to pop, that's also perfectly fine. It really tried to pop yesterday being Friday, of course. So right now, yeah, ARLO is waiting. Nothing exceptional, amazing, or exciting on ARLO Technologies. So we could probably keep waiting on that one for now, at least for an official trade. APPN. APPN. Wow, down 7%. That is a shredder of a candle. Denzel Shredderini. Man. The head and shoulders patterns out there that are out there right now are monstrous. I mean, that is a big one. Ezra said that's what we call a shredder McShredderton. You got to call it something. Again, I don't have any personal position on this one, but if I were doing it, I'd probably either start accumulating or my pyramid would start at around 115. That's just the 200 simple. I do think a lot of these companies, the ones that had this massive run up, are going to consolidate. I do think that they are going to eventually go higher, although it might take on some of these stocks a year and a half. Just make sure you know what you're doing with your money, right? The fastest way to actually make money, the fastest way to make money in trading, in my knowledge, is day trading, right? Because you're getting in and getting out that day. When it comes to swing trades and or investments, you are going to have to wait for a while. Just that simple. It's going to take time. So the shorter the time frame, right, the quicker you can get in and get out of trades. This was a really fun day trade opportunity today, although I didn't look at this one at all or trade it at all. It did what most things did. So it was consolidating. It was Momo short. It traded up into Momo and then just rolled over most of the day. The weekly on this one? Yeah. Oh, wow. So Maloney, she's absolutely right. So Maloney says the weekly chart on APPN is bearish as of today. So that's really intriguing stuff. Because again, now that you have the weekly Momo is bearish, daily Momo has been bearish since February 23rd. 78-minute is bearish again. So that's also probably the direction that you're taking. Remember, bigger time frames help you really analyze the bigger picture charts. Okay. So overall trend, more weak than strong on that one. Now, Go Health. It's trying. I've seen this pattern so many times. It's like a weird, it's hard to explain. It's almost like it's going higher, and it is mathematically, but barely. So it kind of wants to pop up into the 100 and then spring down and then bounce. That's what I think I'm going to wait for on Go Health. Either a false breakout and then a shakeout and then we go higher, or it just pulls down to around 11. I know some people are in this one, and if you are, you're just waiting it out. I like the weekly chart. Weekly chart looks interesting. Again, it's going to take some time, but it is kind of compressing. It is trading sideways, and it will be very fun to see what happens to this particular chart. Go Health, definitely an interesting company. Daily time frame. Yeah. Let's watch that one and see what we get. Okay. Darling Ingredients. Don't have any position on this one, but man, it's straight up. It is straight up. Wow. Literally the most skyrocket thing I've seen on this chart in its history. It's never been this high. It's never been this parabolic. There's a lot of stocks out there that need to pull back. I'm not saying this is one of them, but I'm also not saying I don't have any. So if you do have some, protect yourself. You know, have some levels of support, have some moving averages, have some stop losses, collars, covered calls, some way to hedge. Because yeah, it's high. It's up there. It's up there. Okay. Waiting that one out. Stitch Fix. This is one that we had a weekly options newsletter on. We canceled it because it didn't trigger, and good, because literally the next Monday it would have triggered, which I think was the 12th. Yeah, would have triggered on the 12th, and then you would have gotten stopped out or lost or whatever. So Stitch Fix made a new low on Friday. Possible morning star around the 200 simple. I'm intrigued by this stock because, I mean, the pattern looks good. You had a massive breakout, but it just really is returning to normal land. Oh boy, does this company own Trunk Club, or are they different? Totally different branch, different entity. You're at, so this zone that I'm drawing here, this is back from 2018, old resistance over here. It is coming back down to the support. This is a bouncing level. I'm not going to deny that at all. Good support, a little bit of a morning star candle, hanging out, a little bit of a trap, as Ezra was mentioning. Yep, absolutely. So there's the lower low right there. So that could be cool. Watch it. Yeah, let's see if it pops. If it gaps up tomorrow above 47, that'd be a nice little day trade. If it breaks above there, it could also be a cool little day trade. And monthly chart, Momo still bullish, and a weekly is bearish on Stitch Fix. So the weekly, the daily since February 19th, and the 78-minute are all short. By the way, type in a 6 if you guys know how to make money when a stock goes down. Just waiting for Maloney 6. I'm just going to wait for her there. Okay. So again, just remind yourself that you don't have to get pigeonholed into longs. You can have a generally long portfolio, but you can have a swing trade portfolio that's short. You can have an accumulation account where you're accumulating Tesla or, I don't know, Datadog or Upwork or whatever. You can have different style accounts, right? Always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. Ezra says, is Maloney on the mic? She is technically.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, me and her are hanging out. She came all the way to Nashville just to trade with me and hang out with me for 1 to 2 days. So, because she's an amazing human being. Ross says, what up, Mama Bear? You teaching Jer how to short futures. Dude, she is.
No, he actually made me do a bull trade today. I'm learning how to trade bullish.
Yeah. So super cool. Super cool. Always good to hang out with new people and just see their strategies. It's very, very fun. I think we'll have enough time after this to pull up the futures and look at what's going on. But yeah, so Stitch Fix has some support. UCTT, ultra clean. Talk about an ultra clean chart. This was a very, very nice hammer back on March the 5th. You had a bearish gap and go on April 6th. And the weekly chart, we are working on pulling back. So old resistance, new supports at 34.33. Yeah, let's let it pull back lower, buy lower. I wouldn't be getting it up here. Let's keep waiting on UCTT. All right, Jose Cuervo, QRVO. I like it. I like the overall move. Looks good. Definitely was some pressure building the other day. I forgot that little pin pattern. It did just kind of break down to the downside on QRVO. Here's the weekly chart. This is a stock that's really been, I mean, everything's been strong since March of COVID, pretty much. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I guess just wait. Interesting gap down. There was some beautiful pressure being built, but it just looks like it broke down shorter. So QRVO, yeah, wait on that one. It was building some pressure. Looks like it broke out to the downside. Smart Global Holdings, SGH, another semiconductor. This one is at La Resistance. Old time high, 2018, 56.59, right on the nose. Yeah, gonna want to be patient on that one for sure. Not the spot to buy everything up there. So old resistance, new support. Today's an inside day candle. I would probably wait for something like this and this. And I would try to get in lower. Most things I'd, well, kind of have to wait in to get in lower. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I do like the sideways momentum. I like the inside day candle. It's not a great hammer just because of the location. So let's wait for a little bit of a pullback lower. NCNO, weekly chart, very sideways. Actually did take out the IPO low. Don't know anything about NCNO though, as far as like what they actually do. But daily chart, yep, sideways. Weekly chart, we just looked at, nothing special. High wave candle, definitely an inside, right? This was a beautiful day trade. I mean, if this was a stock that you watch often, I didn't watch this one at all, but it was a beautiful gap because yesterday was an inside shaved bottom bullish candle. This is the 5-minute chart and definitely choppy, but when it gapped down, you would have waited for some kind of long and take out the long. Somewhere over here, it's probably where you would have gotten in short, 68.30. No idea where your stop would have been, probably 69.30. So you could have made something on it. Wouldn't have been crazy town, but the selling today wasn't nearly as fierce as some people might have made it sound. All right, Walmart, WMT, Wally World. Ooh, man, this thing is also compressing. Jeez. So Walmart, I know everyone loves Walmart long-term. It's Walmart. You can see the 200 and the 100 compressing that price action. That's easy to see. So if you were playing Walmart and you're looking for a spot to buy this double bottom right here, Maloney and I spent about 30 minutes today looking for candles that the bear candles that form right before double bottom, because she said that's kind of like her favorite way to get in. So kind of like this trade. So even though allegedly she's the most bearish person in RLT, she's pretty good at going long too. She's just good at making money in general. So here's the double bottom on Walmart. All right. So bang, 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 but it hadn't gotten there yet, right? It hadn't gotten above the neckline. So what Maloney likes to do, and myself, I'm also a big fan of this, is when you get to that neckline-ish area and you see a little bit of a small bear candle, well, if it goes above that bear candle, that's your bull entry. So next candle, I love this because it did not go higher. Didn't go higher. We're just hanging out still, even though bull volume did increase. Bang. So that's your entry. And you get to close. Right? And that was only 2 weeks ago, something like that. March 26th. Harold says, do you usually do official bear trades? Yeah, man, absolutely. Especially if it's day trading. Especially on a day trade. But yeah, I love that candle. I love the close and really nice little pop. So if I was looking at this one, it could easily break out bullish, but I'd prefer it to trade down into 134.68 and probably go long. EverQuote did get stopped out of this one today. So that was a quick, relatively painless 1R right down the toilet of ours. Got triggered in with a really nice one white soldier hammer candle. And then the very next day, which was today, stopped out of EverQuote. Here's the weekly chart. You're still at the 100 simple on the weekly. So maybe I put the entry too tight or put the stop too tight or took it too aggressive. Either way, potential little double top. Going to weigh it out. Going to give it 2 or 3 days. And we're going to come back to this one and see if we can take it again. I think today was a little bit of a trapping day because everything was kind of gapping down a little bit. I think it was just a good day to shake out. So that's what I got. EverQuote. Very good. Next one on the list is IBM. Now, IBM is gapping up with earnings. And this actually is a really nice gap. I can't argue that. Here's the weekly chart. Yeah. Your boy Newsome probably will be putting this one on the list for tomorrow on the day trade. We'll be keeping a close eye on it at least. But I'm going to go ahead and get this all sorted out and planned out. You got the 200 simple here at 136.09. I do love earnings season. Daily chart, nice gap, cleared a bunch of pivots. 5 minute. Yeah. So this is, again, it's IBM. Probably does something like that tomorrow, and it's a slow winner. But I will be watching it. It is a nice gap. And I know all of you love trading. You're all addicted as I am. So there we go. Let's watch it tomorrow. We'll see what it does. Day trade or just super fast swing trade. Someone told me, I forget who it was, but someone was like, hey, you can still set up a swing trade in advance. Oh, crazy. All right. So that is IBM. Next on the list, Thursday, today, to Monday. All right. So that's IBM. And then Alcoa was requested. Alcoa, strong gap up on April 16th. Really good open, really good trade, weekly chart, nice hammer on March 22nd. Monthly chart, about to run into the 200 simple on a monthly. Obviously a very, very strong support resistance zone. If you're doing covered calls, I would do it above that. If you are looking for a target, that's probably where I would sell. And I think for the most part, yeah, I'm just going to kind of wait out, take it slow. And I don't have any position on Alcoa, but if I were going to, that's pretty much where I would. Yeah. Awesome. That was the list for today. I can add a few more though, so I got plenty of time. Tay says, can you look at Cisco? Cisco gapped up, gap and go on Friday, inside candle today. Weekly charts. No idea when I drew this. I would assume I drew it before it happened. After, not before. There's no way I could have figured that out what would have happened in September. Yeah, I had to draw that after the fact. That's just too good. That's too good of a double bottom, you know? Yeah, it's a really nice gap. I mean, trend is bullish. Buy the dip. Looks good. All right, ROKU. So ROKU had a beautiful gap down today, and I do mean beautiful. Very, very pretty gap down. This is the 5 minute chart. And again, if you're playing Momo, what a delicious, delicious indicator today was on Momo. So you'd have been short all day on Momo. Right, ROKU gap down this morning, traded right up into the moving averages and then died. It even compressed for like a good 30 minutes at the low of the day and then broke down. So if you were day trading today, I mean, today was a layup Monday, in my opinion, just a lot of goodness out there. So really good rollover, beautiful short, nice gap. Tons of people were long. Overnight gap, right? Gap on a Monday, which are almost always the strongest. I'm still bullish on ROKU long-term. Obviously, I don't have any positions in it myself, just looking at it. I think it probably could do this and then probably go higher. I actually do think this is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, and the best way to play this one's probably, in my opinion, day trade it or option selling or accumulate and wait and be patient. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on ROKU. Getting a lot of requests for JMIA, JMIA, and JMIA, low of the day, 28.95. One of my first entries, 28.91. 28.91, which means we got to go lower. Got to go lower. So we'll start the pyramid now at 27.74 on JMIA. We've been waiting on this one to pull back, and it is. And again, yes, that is a head and shoulders pattern, but it's going to be such an interesting market if we get some of these growth stocks that just like throw in these epic head and shoulders patterns, and then it doesn't trigger, throws in some lower shadows, and then just goes higher. That'd be so fun. But again, generally when you're dealing with head and shoulders patterns, the whole market, unless it's like markets crashing, which technically and logistically it's not, based on all the markets going higher. But a lot of these internal random companies, right? There's so many that are forming these head and shoulders patterns. That's kind of why I think that we're going to go, well, higher eventually. But Momo is long as of now. So again, that's why you're probably going to want to play pyramids or accumulation strategy when the Momo is short like this. You can definitely short it. Again, you guys all know how to make money when the trend is short. And buy low, sell high, I guess. Leah says, I sold $30 strike puts, so I guess I'm going to own shares. Maybe. When does it expire? Mike says, I like JMIA long-term, so I'll take them. Yeah, man, I remember you selling, right? Like 45 or something. And so now you're just getting it lower than you sold it for. It's awesome, dude. April 30th. Yeah, you got plenty of time. It'll be close, but I think you're good. Leah says, I want to own some shares. Brennan says, I got put at 35 on Friday. And Chris says, put sale location. If you haven't sold any puts yet, Chris, and you're looking to do so, I'd say $20 before earnings. So yeah, this one's going to be one that we'll look back at some point and go, oh man, that's so fun. I'm glad that we got into some shares. Good pullback. It needs to happen. It is happening. It's resting. Give it some time. Again, when Momo is bearish on the daily chart, bearish on the weekly, bearish on the 78-minute, all the time frames, big time frames, short time frames are bearish. You either accumulate, you pyramid, or you wait for your longer term stuff, right? Obviously, if you're playing bearish, you're shorting. Okay, so there's JMIA and JMIA. All right, AI got triggered today. So this is one that we were waiting for a pullback on, C3.ai Incorporated. So we're pretty much buying low, selling high. So we'll see if it bounces. It probably won't. It's a pretty aggressive little stop. So we might get out of this one sooner than later, I think. Just that much bullish volume. And today closing below both of those candles, I think I'll probably pull the escape hatch on that one tomorrow. Facebook. So Facebook is looking to simply retest all-time highs. Earnings is somewhat around the corner, but new all-time high at 315. Let it pull back into like 290. Buy it down there if you're playing it. Del Taco restaurants. So it's about 7 traders I know who are in Del Taco, right? We looked at this one last week, playing some of these hammers. So if you're in Taco, congratulations. Pinterest had a lot of people want to get into Pinterest at 88. And I was like, no, I probably shouldn't. So congrats for not getting in there. Now it is $10 cheaper on Pinterest. So it did pull back. It is retesting the neckline of a double bottom. This is what we were waiting for, at least what Mr. Squiggles was waiting for. So again, if you're looking at playing Pinterest, this is the spot. Personally, again, it's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. I want to get back into Pinterest down here. 57-ish.
On the weekly, it's double toppy. So.
And Maloney says on the weekly, it is double top-ish. Yeah, that's an absolute statement. Very, very good point. I mean, it's great resistance up here. And again, I mean, Pinterest market cap is high, 80 billion or something like that. So I'm down for a pullback. Totally down, waiting, willing. Don't have any personal positions on Pinterest right now. Nice little bounce. I'm sure if you're in Pinterest up here, you got into some covered calls, some collars, something. I mean, at the previous all-time high. I'm sure you did. Okay, GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin, down 6.66. So Grayscale is down because the Bitcoin's down. Buy it low, or at least buy it lower. 100 simple moving average down here at 40. So again, I personally just prefer to buy Bitcoin, but if you are buying, buy it lower than all the way up there at 56. Let it pull back. If I were personally buying this one, which I'm not, just for whatever reason, I'd start to buy in this zone, 38 to 31. Start picking up down there and just be a little bit patient on it. Harold says, I've been looking at apps longer term. All right, I can put down the list for Tuesday, which is tomorrow. No problem at all. Let me throw on here. Give me a few quick seconds. All right, tomorrow, Tech Giant Tuesday, APPS, got it. Square was also an amazing trade. Again, talked about this one on Thursday of last week, simply mentioning that it's in a little bit of a distribution phase. This is the resistance. This is the support. Sell it up here, buy it down here. Don't overthink Square. It's high, buy it low, sell it high. That's pretty much it. All right. Coin, COIN, Coinbase is 4 inside candles in a row. So if it gaps out of there, be bullish. And if it doesn't, don't be. I prefer to buy Coinbase below 200. So I still don't have any positions in it. Although if it breaks out of this, I will have to snag some as a quick little trade. It won't be an investment. It'll just be like a quick in and out, because honestly, I don't mind if it does this and just never turns back and I miss it and I never ever get it lower again, because I'm quite confident that won't happen. I'm relatively sure that Coinbase is going to have some lower lows in its future. So tomorrow, Tech Giant Tuesday, and I will be amped to be here. My boy Daniel wants to look at ST&E. Frog got Restoration Hardware being requested. Amwell got it. Riot got it. Peloton, BE, Datadog. RBLX, people been having fun with Roblox. ZUO, I got it, Moy. Amazing. Internet high fives all around. Albert says, thanks, Jeremy. Dude, my pleasure. Thanks to you, man. Teledog, let's do it. Gordon Chan on the list. Look at Upwork tomorrow. Fantastic. Ethereum tomorrow. SOS, absolutely. NVIDIA, AMD, VEVA, V Systems, Skyworks, Plug. Awesome. Got some good lists for tomorrow. I'm sure that list will build as midday approaches. Team from around the world, thanks for tuning in to your Monday afternoon swing trading floor. This weekend, Back Trading Marathon starts on Saturday. 70% of proceeds will be going to the Leukemia Society. So make sure to keep your eyes out for that to be coming out on your dashboards. It's going to be the greatest Saturday of my life. And I'm looking forward to being there with you guys and donating so much money to a great cause. I love you all so much. Thanks for being here. And until next time, love life, and trade it. You rock. Bye.